Hello, differential equation students. My name is Shiloh Lawrence. I'm going to be your instructor this semester. I want about 15 minutes of your time to walk through some really important aspects of our course this semester, which mainly are going to include our Moodle webpage and MyLabs Plus. So I'm going to start here on our Moodle page. We've almost got everybody to have complete the enrollment verification activity and upload your NCC orientation certificate. So that's fantastic. We are almost at 100%, which means for most of you who have completed these two, the rest of the course content, at least through week number 1, should have popped up after that. Sometimes it's not immediate. Sometimes it takes a minute to register and open everything else back up. I've got a syllabus linked here. You can browse through that. It's going to outline the chapters and sections that we're going to cover in our textbook this semester. And it also has the grading policies in there, so I do suggest you read through some of those things. We are going to use MyLabs Plus. If you buy your textbook from the campus store, then it should come bundled with a new code. This class is not considered a continuation of Calculus 3, so a new textbook and a new MyLabs Plus code are required. You either need to get your MyLabs Plus code by bundling it with the textbook at our campus store, or you need to use a credit or a debit card or a PayPal account. The very first time you log into MyLabs Plus, it'll ask you to enter your access code, or there should be another option to purchase an access code. And if you don't have that option right now, you need to have your access code within the first 2 weeks. There is an opportunity for free access for the first 2 weeks, so you can go ahead and log in, and the option on the screen should be free access or something like that. But I can help anybody through the process if they need it. Just let me know. So there's some instructions there how to log into MyLabs Plus, and then also a web link that will always be there. You don't necessarily need to bookmark MyLabs Plus if you don't want to. And this is also a way for me to encourage you that you should start on our Moodle page every single week, because you're not only going to have MyLabs Plus homework. So you don't want to get in the habit of going to MyLabs Plus every week and ignoring the Moodle page. You're going to miss a lot of assignments. And just saying, I didn't know, is not acceptable. You need to start every week on the Moodle page. The questions forum here is really important, and it is meant as a learning tool for our course. One barrier that we often see in online classes is opportunities for collaboration, opportunities for the students to work together and help one another. We do that a lot in class, but because we're online, it's a little more difficult. So one of the ways that I've been piloting here the last couple of semesters is a questions forum. If you have any math content questions at all, they need to be posted to this question forum. Don't email me privately with your questions. I'm going to just tell you, you need to go put it on the question forum, because most likely, number one, other people might have the same question and could benefit from seeing the answer. Number two, if you are able to answer somebody else's question, that is a demonstration of a higher level of understanding of the material. So it's what we call a formative assessment. If you can explain it to somebody else, then you got it. So you should all be interacting on this forum. If you have questions about any sort of math, you post it here. If you see somebody else's question and you know the answer to it, go ahead and answer it. I will be popping in and out of the forum a few times a week. I'm also happy to answer questions, and I know there's always going to end up being a question that nobody can answer or nobody wants to answer because they're scared of being wrong. So I know there's going to be some that I have to answer, but I would rather post it publicly for everybody to benefit. The next area I have here are some online learning resources. I am a huge advocate of the SQ3R method of note-taking, and this specifically is a note-taking strategy for when you are reading your textbook. You need to get in the habit of reading your textbook, not reading it like a novel, line for line, word for word. This SQ3R method outlines a whole different way to do it so that you are engaging with the material and you are remembering the material, you are taking notes, and that you also have a use for those notes afterwards. So I strongly encourage you to watch this video and try it with our differential equations book and see if it helps at all. I also have links here to my YouTube page, Khan Academy's differential equations page, and also Professor Leonard, who is my all-time favorite YouTube math professor. He's got some really great videos as well. I feel like him and I teach very similarly, which usually tends to not be the same way that the textbook teaches. The only drawback to his videos are they're usually like 2 to 3 hours long, but it's always an additional resource that you might find handy. I already have week 1 open, which is this week. We do have work this week, math work that you need to do. We are going to be covering all of chapter 1 this week. This is the very first semester that we're offering differential equations as an online course. So I'm going to be mixing in some Khan Academy videos, maybe some clips of some Professor Leonard videos, and then also some of my own personal videos. And as I'm able to build up my stockpile of videos, I can eventually replace everything with my own. The Moodle blocks are always going to be separated into 3 pieces. There's going to be a section that says read, and that will tell you what I'm referencing in the textbook, what chapter, which sections. There will be a section that says watch, and these will be links to YouTube videos, either mine or Khan Academy, Professor Leonard. I will always watch them ahead of time and make sure that it is good, relevant content, similar to what I would do. And then there's going to be a section that says complete, and the complete sections are the assignments that are going to be graded. And these assignments need to be completed by Sunday night at midnight. So the first one is a MyLabs Plus homework on chapter 1, homework number 1. And where it says MyLabs Plus, that is a link. So another way to get you to come to Moodle every week is you need to see everything it says there, not just the MyLabs Plus. And then you can always link out to every single individual assignment right from the Moodle page. So there's a homework assignment in MyLabs Plus. There is a discussion board where I would like us all to introduce ourselves. And please be very careful that you carefully read the instructions and make sure that you follow those instructions. You're not going to get just a completion grade. It is very important that you follow the directions that you were given. And the last thing I want you to fill out this week is the student information questionnaire. This is just to get a little bit of contact information for you and a little bit of background on what you want to do academically and professionally. Sometimes our contact information for you is not up to date in our system. So if you had changed cell phone numbers or you had moved, you might have changed your phone number since you applied. So it would be different. And that is it for week number 1. And very shortly, I'm going to open up week number 2. Week number 2 is going to have a few additional activities regarding slope fields and Euler's method, and then also a little bit of chapter 2, not all of chapter 2. And then there's almost always going to be a MyLabs Plus assignment. The other thing I want to show you really quickly is our MyLabs Plus assignments and point out some important tips that we have discovered a lot of you guys don't know about. So if we go into our differential equations MyLabs Plus page, your most current due assignment should pop right up. And you should be able to click on it right here. If it doesn't, You can always click on assignments over here on the left to see what assignments are available to work on. From inside of the homework, you can jump around between questions, doesn't matter. They are given to you in the homeworks, they are given to you in section order. So the questions that pertain to the material earlier are first, and the questions that pertain to the later material are last. One tip that I want to give you is, if you typically use the math help on every single question, and you don't ever read your textbook and you rarely watch your lecture videos, this is not a great way to learn math. It's a good way to see how to work out this type of problem, but it does not contribute usually to your overall understanding of the topic. You really need to interact with this material in several different ways at several different settings in order for the comprehension to begin, in order for the concepts to sink in. So please do not just jump straight into the homework and click on the help me solve this problem every single time. It is a good idea to skim through your text using the SQ3R method, watch some of the lecture videos, maybe even just watch one section of lecture videos, and then come in here and do all the section 1 problems. Break it up into pieces. Another thing that I want to point out is, if you get your question wrong, you need to finish out the problem. All the way to the end. So I got lucky and I got the last parts right. It automatically moved me to the next problem, even though I never clicked on anything that said next problem. And if we go back, it's going to show that we've got partial credit on this because we got a couple parts wrong and a couple parts right. If you have the time, and I strongly encourage you to make the time, you need to get a 100% on all of your homework assignments. Just because we got this wrong on the first try doesn't mean that we're stuck not getting 100. All you have to do is come back to any problem that has a red X and hit similar exercise. And it will let you go through the whole thing again. It'll just change a couple of the numbers. And if you get it right this time, then it will change your credit on that question to fully correct. And you can keep doing this over and over and over again. Similar question, similar question, similar question, until you get it correct. You want to get 100% on all of your homework assignments. Otherwise, you are going to miss some of the material possibly that is going to be on your test. It is very common for me to just pull homework questions, pull a group of homework questions together to make the test. And if you get stuck on one particularly difficult or frustrating problem and you just decide not to do it, you may have just decided not to learn 20 points worth of the test. So please try them over and over and over again if you need to. If you get stuck, take a screenshot, post it to the questions forum. Make sure that you include some context in an actual question. I don't want you just posting homework questions there and saying, somebody tell me how to do this, or tell me what the answer is. You need to say what you have already done, what you know about the problem, and where you are stuck. So hundreds on all homework assignments. So with that being said, welcome to the class. Good luck this semester. Work really hard. Ask lots of questions. Collaborate with your classmates. And do your best work.